welcome. It's another Tuesday afternoon, and you're hanging with your favorite nerds, the Roll for Mischief crew. My name is Kyle. I'm going to be playing Eigner Bosch. That's Drew. He's playing Hilofax.
Hello.
That's Josh. He's playing Fiala Loro. And that's Asa, and he's going to be our wonderful dungeon master. And
The best.
yeah, so I believe Josh has a little announcement, couple announcements he'd like to make.
Okay, so a few things. The first one is our Sunday game, Mischief and Misfits, is back. We had two players that had to kind of cancel last minute, so we didn't happen this last Sunday, but we are back officially. We have one new player, and we're working on recruiting a fourth total player. So, but we are back essentially. Um, the other thing is that I am trying to put together 5 new games. One of them is Shattered Realm, which has something to do with this.
Cool.
Um,
Very cool.
uh, and I'll need players for that. And the other thing that, before I could start that, the other thing that, and for another clue as to what it is a mix between the Deck of Many Things and the video game Bastion.
I don't think I've ever played Bastion.
It's a good game.
It's pretty
Um,
sick. It's pretty
I'm
cool.
going to reveal a little bit more and more as time goes on of what I'm doing with this. So, if you get a chance to play Bastion, it's gonna have elements of it that are in there. And the other thing that we're trying to do is put together an Adventures League legal campaign, 4 different campaigns of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, one for each season. In order for that to happen, we need to fill 20 to 25 player slots. So, if one person wants to play in all 4 games, that counts as 4 slots. If one person wants to play one, that's 1 player slot. I will go ahead and release the schedule of games that I'm trying to start. If anyone would like to talk to us, I'll post it and have on my account original Rubahawk, or you can find Joshua Brickley, Brick the Nelly Y, and I'll have Asa retweet it. It's from the Roll for Mischief account.
Yeah,
And then one more
yeah.
thing.
I forget stuff like that a lot.
We have released Eigner's Blind Sight feat on the Roll for Mischief D&D Beyond account. The only reason why we don't have a PDF copy is we don't have a Roll for Mischief page to post it. So, which is fine. But so if you want to go check out Blind Sight, it is on the Roll for Mischief. It's Blind Sight, 2 words. The Roll for Mischief D&D Beyond homebrew creations. We will be continuing to create more content as time goes on. So
Further to that, I wanted to also give a bit of a shout out to renovations that I've been making in signposting people to projects and things. There will be a few more pages set up on my website, masterdaregaming.com. Already up is a page that you can go to see all the stuff that we are involved in together as Roll for Mischief and myself separately. The Roll for Mischief section at the moment just brings you to the Twitch page, but I will be expanding that to everything that Roll for Mischief is doing. and little updates on what I'm planning to do. So you can find links to things like that over the next few days. I'll be linking directly to the Blind Sight feed and D&D Beyond pages and all various other things that we want to signpost you to, which we will also be able to do on our Discord. So if you do want to join us there, our Discord will be able to link you to all sorts of things and just generally chat.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll set up an announcements channel that's just read only.
Sure.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
definitely. All right, so that's all the announcements.
Yeah,
all right,
I think so.
Cool.
Is that okay?
So
yeah,
we'll
then let's go ahead and
do
do
group therapy.
our.
We have to do group therapy, guys. This is the section of the show at the beginning where we just check in with each of the characters, see how they're feeling about current events. Now, also kind of serves as a little bit of a session recap from last week. So I'll go ahead and start with Eigner. And Eigner, understandably, is kind of a broken person right now. Because he has come to the realization, the crushing realization, that the first however many sessions of this episode where he was living out this, like, life with, like, Ethel as his bride, and he had a daughter named Willow, this little baby and everything, and then everything was going so well, and Garth was going to be brought to justice for all of his evil shit that he's done. Like, this whole thing was just laid out in front of him, and it was he realized that it was all a sham. It was all this elaborate illusion, and actually what's been happening is that all the characters got brought into Eigner being tortured still in captivity, still in custody of Vincent Vishoon. And Vincent was just using all sorts of nefarious illusion magic to keep Eigner in this mental cage and state of continual psychological torture. Also, when Eigner came to, he realized that he was not able to see anymore, which kind of sucks. But he's got this whole, like, Daredevil-esque thing going on where his other senses are super heightened, and he's also got this ability to sense like tremors in from people walking around. It's pretty crazy. So he's got a lot to process. He's got I think of it like that part in Inception, where they like have that similar kind of realization where they lived like an entire life and then they realized it like no time had passed at all, or some time had passed at all. Relatively no time compared to what they experienced. So he is just psychologically kind of messed up right now and is going to have a hard time making the adjustment to his new life, which was actually his old life. He's confused.
Has to readjust back from that island time.
It hurt himself in confusion.
I choose you, Eigner.
Yeah.
So, Hilofax sort of awoke from one dream where he was somehow some space alien indulging in fantasy roleplay in his actual life. All of a sudden, awakening from yet another dream. So he was properly like 2 levels Inception deep. Yes, Hilofax, similar to Eigner, is a little disoriented from the awakening. He allowed himself to relax in this fantasy world. A world where he and Theala worked out some functional relationship. And while the details are sketchy in his mind, a lot of the fantasy is starting to ebb away already. That's something that he recognizes and feels like he wants to latch onto. But how practical it is with everything else going on, he's not entirely sure, and is even contemplating putting his mission first, seeing that things are still all crazy, that there isn't enough time to get Eigner married to someone and everything to be peaceful for a while, that maybe it's not quite on the cards. But he's looking to see how things play out, and so am I. I'm curious. That's Halifax. How's Theala doing?
She is about as close to a catatonic state as one can be whilst still conscious. This particular event has probably been more traumatizing to her than even Eigner. And I don't say this because to lessen Eigner's frustration or like kind of like loss of self, but Eigner's a human. Humans are used to, as far as elves are concerned, moving at the speed of light.
Sure.
Theala has been thrown into the deep end on a lot of different emotions in a very for an elf, a very short period of time. And
You damn mayfly, sort out your lifespan.
What?
I was chastising Eigner for having a short lifespan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens, dude. Live fast, die young.
For elves, 75 years, they're like 12. So yeah, so she's kind of like she was already kind of like having a tenuous relationship with reality, because here's this thing that she kept on experiencing for, you know, the same few years over and over again. So she had in her mind become comfortable with this relationship with Halifax that was suddenly ripped from her. Like a time that is more attuned to what an elf is willing to operate under. And then it goes, wham, this didn't actually happen. So that's already one thing. And then she finds out that they've been under a spell. And then, to make matters worse, as she is attempting to protect Halifax, who's the drow, evil drow? Zarkon forced her to cast Vicious Mockery on Halifax and then on herself. And
it hurt itself
while
in confusion.
She didn't mean what she said to Halifax, she absolutely meant what she said to herself. And not only was this a truly cutting and biting thing that she said that would have thrown anyone off center, this for her was a realization. And something that she's drawing on hundreds of years of just absorbing this information. I've never been loved for hundreds of years. And so, because she's, if I remember correctly, 470 years old or something.
The very specific line that I believe she said to herself was, do you think anyone could ever really love you? Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
What I find compelling is, so the things we think about ourselves, or the things we think other people think about us, are usually indicative of what we think about ourselves. So this is, at least in my interpretation, Theala's realization that she doesn't actually love herself, and for that reason, nobody else could.
Yeah, 417 years old. She's 417. Yeah, she doesn't love herself. She doesn't feel like she could love anybody else because she doesn't feel like, or she's not sure if she can love anybody else because she doesn't know what it feels like to be loved in her mind. And so now we're adding on to that layer of, she knows that she had these feelings that might have been fake, but maybe they're real about Halifax. But then, are they real? Are they real in the sense then? Are they real from this illusion? And are they real in the sense that can she properly identify that feeling? So she, like I said, she's got this, and for a 417-year-old being, this is a lot of fucking shit in like 10 minutes. She doesn't know how to comprehend all of this, and so she like basically just motioned Halifax to go off, like to back off, and she literally just stood in the corner and stared at a wall and is just trying to like I mean, just like she can't have any other senses, like as if she was autistic. She can't have any other senses. She has to be in a corner, have no outside stimulation, and just whatever. So right now, if you give her a task, especially if you give her something to blow up, literally, she'll be fine. But like, she's not aware. She's like the Hulk at this point. She's not aware of the outside worlds.
Theala smash.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. Theala smash.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you
borrow
get her
a
to
characterization.
and drop off a fireball, she'll fucking do that 4 or 5 times. But you know, ask her to do much else, and she's lost.
Mm-hmm. Man.
I think borrowing a characterization from a popular culture, Hulk is a good analogy, but I see Theala more as like a sort of Doctor Strange just before he found Kamatage, was it? Like, there's a lot of ability within her, but at the moment she's like in this broken state.
Oh yeah.
Sort of needs.
Oh yeah, she's absolutely in this broken state. I'm just in terms of like how she's interacting with the worlds.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, she's absolutely, you're right. A Doctor Strange is like as if Doctor Strange like somehow got hit with gamma radiation, is where she's at right now.
Strange Hulk.
Yeah. Actually,
She's confused about reality, but really, what is reality? Let's all just take a moment here to think. What is Theala's reality? What's our reality, really?
So yeah, that's where she's at.
This is
So
not your
like I said, I
podcast.
didn't want to
This
diminish
is
how
a D&D game.
I didn't want to diminish how Eigner is feeling, but there's all of these things that are going on, and again, I have to reiterate, all of these things going on for a 400-year-old being that is just not used to like operating this fast. So, I just wanted to,
She's like, slow down, guys.
This is all moving too fast for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Eridu is exhausted because I believe, as we just retconned, he's been fighting for more than just a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
To keep it vague, because I don't want to deal with time frame, I'm not going to go over the exact time frame that it took for you guys to overcome your little mental cage. I do like the idea that it's been like a couple of days, because I like the idea of Eridu getting exhausted and being like, just hold on, just need a minute. and then Zarkon being like, yeah, I got this, I'm cocky, gives him that moment of like, all right, yeah, you take a couple hours, get yourself underway, we got some food for you. You get Vincent being like, can we end this already? And him just being like, nah, we just step away, man, this is my thing. Plus that also gives Finnegan time to reverse whatever damage Zarkon would have intentionally caused to the teleportation circle when he crossed through. But I mean, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So.
Okay. All right. So, episode recap? No, I think we got it covered.
Yeah,
cool.
pretty
Let's
much.
get into it. So, you guys, pretty much shortly after the combat is finished, you've subdued Vincent. Zarkon has been banished into a hunk of, banished or trapped into a hunk of ball and wood. or metal and wood. Um, uh, two agents, two bureau people who come into the room and find you guys. They are an elf and a human, and introducing themselves as it's Celia. Is that right? There, Kyle. I'm looking at the names. There's Orwild and Celia.
Oh,
Orwild and
oh,
Celia.
sure. Yeah, I gave those a long time ago.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that's how you say that.
These were two agents that Eridu had learned about through just inquiring about people that I think it was talking to Theala in her dream or something like that. People that not Theala, Ethel. People that Ethel
Uh-huh.
knew were like friends of hers, would have her best interest in heart, that sort of a thing.
Yeah, people
Because
on the inside.
yeah, and these were just people that she trusted, and Emily had sent letters to them warning them of this. So as this kind of conflict with Vincent has been happening, they have actually uncovered Ethel's imprisonment, and
Hmm.
um, you know, upon realizing that there are bureau agents here, and these people seem to not mean you any harm. Before people could ask too many questions, Finnegan just kind of quietly disappeared.
Yep.
You guys have spent some time in the bureau headquarters, just being allowed to relax, but it has been chaos. Attempting to sort of root out and figure out those that were loyal to Vincent, those that were not. There is a lot of bureaucratic back and forth with people who obviously did not agree with things Vincent did, but also are more concerned with the security of the bureau than with the injustice done to these individuals. So there's sort of a clear three faction divide. There's those who go, this is all terrible, we shouldn't be treating people like this. Those who go, we need to worry about the safety of the bureau. And
Uh-huh.
those who are absent. And it is assumed that most of those who are absent are probably Vincent's, core group of followers. So, do you guys want to be doing anything, going over anything, talking about anything, asking any questions while you're in the bureau?
I want to go through.
Yeah.
I want to go through Vincent's office to get
Definitely
answers.
want to do that.
Like, I want to see for myself, to a degree, just answers. Like, not even like I don't even know what I'm looking for. Just I just need to know.
Looking
Like,
for
Okay.
there's
clues.
just, and again, like to the elf thing where,
I need my dice, sorry.
yeah, I just need to know. I need to have that understanding of everything. Whether that means learning about what a spell is, whether that's learning about maybe some journals of why he was doing this, or
Right.
I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a manifesto, or he's crazy, or he has some profit motive, or is a serial killer. I mean, just like
Something to give you insight into why these decisions were made.
yeah, something to give me insight into the whys and the hows and the everything. Just that's like literally what she's doing the entire time.
Okay.
So
Just give me an insight check.
give me what? Go what now?
Insight.
Insight.
Investigate. I'm sorry. Investigate check.
Okay.
What am I to say? In this time, too, if anybody's wondering, the bureau agents themselves have decided that it is best to keep Vincent locked in the bureau and to do their own internal investigation rather than turn the situation over to any local authorities.
18.
18. Okay. Yeah. So going through his office, you are able to find a thin book that flipping through it goes over sort of basic routines, schedules for the day, but there are pages here and there that are just completely blank, and it's not like, oh, you've reached the end of the journal. It's like there's a 3-section blank page, and then there's a continuation of some regular things. I'd like you to.
Whenever those come up, I want a ritual cast identify.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So upon doing that and like identifying this book, it becomes very clear to you that magic has been used to conceal certain pages of this book. He has cast illusory script, or a more complex, permanent version of illusory script on these pages.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I were to dispel the magic, that it would destroy anything in there that I don't want destroyed?
Of course. Yeah. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
24.
Okay. It. So you know if you just cast the counter spell that you currently know how to do.
Well, I know counterspell and dispel magic.
Yeah. Okay. Those alone could very well damage the book, and you would lose a lot of crucial information. However, you do also recall. You recall being a part of the ritual that Finnegan used to finally put an end to dispelling that illusory dream state you guys were in.
Okay.
So there is a more complex way of dispelling this magic, but you don't have that knowledge in front of you. However, you happen to know who does.
Okay. Then I will take any of those books that have that.
Okay.
Anyway, so what else did I find and learn and whatever?
That's the big one, because that's pretty much his personal journal, and that'll give you a lot of information when you delve into it. I'm gonna give this one to Halifax because I'm assuming you're also looking around the office.
I will certainly be availing myself to as much as possible. I'm thinking with Halifax, he is going to treat this as like the interstitial part between Frodo leaving the Shire and arriving at Bree, and Gandalf just goes off to read books.
Right.
This is my Gandalf reading books moment. I'm just gonna generally research things with an eye towards like past conflicts and the history of the area. Basically, I want to learn more about what dangers could be on the horizon, because generally speaking, I know a lot of the stories, but I want to know the facts.
Okay.
So leaning towards magical history, but
I'm going to give you a thing real fast, which is the first thing that I would think would draw Halifax's attention, is the book open on the dresser just behind where Vincent was, which is very clearly his spell book. I would say that's probably the first thing that would draw your attention.
Yes, please. I'd like to go and have a look at that and
Finders
see.
Keepers.
Oh yeah, actually, I might just sort of hide that away rather than get caught reading it. And take it with me.
Why don't you make me a sleight of hand check?
Why don't I?
Probably
because I don't have my dice next to me. That's why.
Hold on a
second. Oh no! 2 people going away from the screen. It's pandemonium.
So at this moment, to keep the audience's attention, Eigner launches into a musical number, just completely by himself, and it's kind of a sad one. It's like one of those really sappy romantic tunes, and because he's like wishes Ethel's here. Yeah, exactly.
So now that you brought it up, I want to hear this entire musical. off the top of your head.
Ethel, I wish you were here. I'm blind. I can't see, but I can see that you're the one for me. Ethel, Ethel, da da da, something like that.
Did you guys ever watch Disney's Dinosaurs, by the way?
Dinosaurs? I think so.
Yeah, Disney's Dinosaurs. There was the old grandma in the wheelchair that was called Ethel. There was one episode
Aww.
where her husband was calling her from the light, from heaven, going like, Ethel, Ethel, and then telling her that it's not her time to come, that she should be alive, and she stays alive.
Wow.
But yes, I got
kinda like
a
me.
13 on a sleight of hand check, and that sleight of hand check is for me to try and tuck this spell book away under my robes.
All right. Yeah, you kind of grab that book and tuck it in your robes and looking at Orwell and Celia, and they don't seem to be, looking at you. Orwell is very interested in the large chunk of metal and wood that's on the ground, and he's like, he's looking for whomever he can like kind of engage in conversation about that. So, but you were the one who helped that, so maybe that would be a thing that he'd end up talking to you about. As where,
In fact, I'll be distracting him. Oh, yes, you see right over there, that little hook of metal that seems to be protruding there. Yes. While you're doing that, I'm just going to. Yep. Oh, yep. So yes, that bit of metal is very interesting, isn't it?
definitely so. And Celia is somewhere between. I mean, she's like right there with Eridu or with Eigner and Vincent. Like, obviously, trying to assess the physical condition of both these people. And she'd be asking Eigner like about his blindness. If it comes up, the idea that a spell has done this, and that would be like one of our major focuses at the moment.
A quick reminder to the other players, since it's only been like a couple of days max in game time, but it's been a week for us. That chunk of metal is all my doing.
Oh.
The chunk of metal
like
is Norcon's Warforged
down
body
into
that I melted.
Oh, right. It's a mixture of that and the chunk of the meltedness. Oh, that's right. That was if you have anything to say, yeah, you would be involved in that.
Well, unless they ask me specifically,
yeah.
I'm not going to say anything because I'm in my own world. I just wanted to grant player knowledge or character knowledge to the player.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Eigner doesn't know anything. He didn't see anything.
Also, Halifax had helped Finnegan finish the binding ritual that was Archon back to his physical form. So between the two of you, you had a part to play in Zarkon's current physical condition.
Right.
Zarkon, more like Crush
guy.
I don't.
Zarkon.
Where you're going with that, but
yeah. So when Celia's talking to Eigner and trying to assess his physical condition, he's completely forthcoming, with her, but in this very kind of blunt way, where some of his answers, like, they're truthful, but they're maybe not super helpful, just like, yeah, I came to, and I just can't see, just can't see a damn thing.
Finnegan.
Yeah.
When did you become Eigner?
I just use Finnegan's voice all the time. Well, it's because I also play Finnegan at the tabletop on Tuesday night, so I'm trying to get into character early, I guess.
Right. I don't even have a voice for the other character I play, which is probably why I continually slip out of Eridu's.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's pretty much him. He's just like being totally forthcoming, and but just also not. He doesn't really know what to do right now.
So,
He-
given that state, Celia will actually try to be very comforting. She put a hand on your arm and just say, "Well, there are plenty of spells that can cause temporary blindness. I wouldn't be overly concerned. You'll probably receive your eyesight within a few minutes to a few days."
Eigner's not very comforted by that because he doesn't understand magic at all. And he just says something snarky like, "I'll believe it when I see it."
And she would nod encouragingly, and then realize you can't see her,
Exactly.
and then, well, just try to take it easy, and have someone else help you around. I don't. Yeah,
Eigner,
maybe you all should rest here for a moment.
okay, that's fine. That's just fine.
An invitation like that, I ain't going to stand for it. There's an answer
down.
here at my fingertips. I can feel it. Hit the road, Jack. More Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles songs that I can't remember the names of.
Celia is going to tell Orwell to just keep an eye on all of them. I'm going to go inform the council of what's been happening. The council, they have to have a better name than council for a fucking bureau.
The board.
Yes, there
It's
you
like
go.
it's
I'm
a
going to
board. It's like a board of directors
it.
or something.
I'm gonna inform the directors of what's happening, and we're gonna sort this all out. We're going to seek help for the other party involved.
If you want to go like full boring English bureaucracy committee.
Oh, the committee.
Oh, the committee. There you go.
That is good.
Mm.
So we have a committee, and they are all directors.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a committee because the committee is in a leadership position.
Oh, the talking of bureau. I'm already bored of this conversation. They're directors. It's the board of directors. I have decided.
Board of directors.
Board is perfect because it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Well, Drew and I
boring.
could probably talk about this for the next 2 hours.
Leave
Probably.
it to us to make magic boring. But that is what we are doing currently by adding in bureaucracy.
I love it. It's such a good
Oswald, who is
angle.
supposed to be keeping an eye on you, is
Orwell?
instead obsessing over this object, because
Yeah.
he can sense some sort of power invested in it.
Yeah.
Hmm. So we're sort of playing around with time a little bit here because we're essentially given leave to stay at the bureau for the foreseeable future for the next day maybe.
2 days.
There's
Yeah,
a certain point where if you tried to overstay your welcome, Oswald would not so Orwell would not so gently remind you that, look, some of Vincent's people are still out there, and you're probably not safe here.
Mm. So in that case, then, following the initial curiosity around Zarkon's body, I would like to actually. I was saying I was wanting to wander around the place and sort of seek knowledge. I would like to arrange for the hunk of stuff that was Zarkon's body to be watched over by people that I in particular know. So if Eigner, I can't exactly ask.
Eigner, can you watch over this, please?
I'd love it for Eigner to volunteer and say yes, and then only a couple of hours later I go, "Hey, wait a minute."
We should change his name to Oswald instead of Orwell, because I'll remember Oswald a lot better than Orwell.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
If it
I'll
was
stop correcting you.
Orwell, then it might be more, but it's Orwell, so his name is Oswald.
It's Oswald now.
You can call him
Oswald.
Patton.
That's what it is.
Pat, yeah.
But yeah, I would like to spend some time over the next 24 hours going forth and seeing what sort of records and things that they would have.
Tentatively, Oswald, he would explain to you that a lot of the library is restricted to non-bureau members, but he is willing to lend you a few of his own personal books. So you're looking for stuff involving history?
Yes, yeah.
Uh,
History of factions and things. Generally to give Halifax more of an insight so that he will have a better idea of where to position himself geographically.
Well, he can definitely give you a history on the Bureau, because that's not private knowledge.
Cool.
So you can slog through the very dull read that does describe the emergence of the Bureau and the need for regulation of magics, as well as creatures of interest, which is a much nicer way of saying monstrous humanoids.
Yeah.
Which is what the Bureau seemed to be pretty clear on calling them.
And in fact, I will perk up a little at that and wish to know more. I shall click on the prompt that says, "Do you want to know more?" We don't need the info in part right now.
I don't have a lot of info to give you currently, but
yeah, Halifax wants to learn this stuff, especially being told that, like, people are starting to develop these warforged things and potentially giant mechanical dragons and things. So, like, learning what else is out and about might be useful.
Have you discussed any of this stuff with Oswald or Celia or any of the other few members who have come and talked to you?
No, I would have been deliberately evasive and cagey about that sort of thing. I would have been saying to them, "Oh, I'm just curious about the history of the lands and who's done what to whom with what, sort of general history and slights against empires and things."
Very good. Yeah, so there's that. There is a neat web of treaties that ended up leading to the Free Kingdoms becoming the nation that it is now, as well as the many civil wars that happened in the area. And you kind of get the idea that, one of the pastimes of the Free Kingdoms was warring with each other. Little skirmishes here and there, just to,
when they're bored.
Yeah, just to stretch a little bit of land, a little bit of dominance, a little bit of control here and there, a way of entertaining the nobles. This area knows war pretty well, and does have decent ways of mobilizing forces in the thousands fairly quickly. And then Eigner has become so blind that we can't see him.
That's how that works.
So blind that we all now are suffering his effects. What's Theala doing? If anything,
yeah,
in the time that
literally the entire time she's basically going into literally the entire time she's going into elf mode and meticulously looking through and reading every page that is in Vincent's office, looking in every corner, finding every piece of information that she can find. Again, to like I was saying, to help her understand
more about Vincent. Okay.
More about what was going on and why, really why he was doing it, because to her this isn't just a bad thing that happened or whatever. This is like a total warping of her reality, and so she's trying. He may or may not understood what he was doing to her, but she needs to understand why he did it.
And in doing this, Celia actually finds you often, and has many questions.
Lives there.
Yeah, Celia finds you often because she's kind of recognizing this hunt for knowledge. uh, centered around this one question that she also has, which is why you? Why? Why did he feel the need to target any of you? What connection do you have with them? What connection do you have with Ethel,
Right.
who, of course, you
Never
don't know personally because you've never actually met her, but know through these.
Through Eigner. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you also know her through these illusions.
Right,
That
but
is
now
your
the
only
theology
interaction.
doesn't. Yeah. Now she's like, I don't know her.
And I haven't brought this too much. I did at the end of this last session say you guys would have found out that Ethel was there, but unless anyone has actively asked about her, nobody's been forthcomingly telling you we found Ethel.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure Eigner would eventually ask that.
To which case, again, Celia's the more personable one here when it comes to people, where Oswald seems very interested in things.
Yeah.
She will, definitely be very curious as to why you're asking about Ethel and how you know her.
Ethel and I, um, we were, we are friends. We've known each other for a while now, and I'm concerned about her.
You are mentioned in her case file, but as far as any personal relationship, there's no indication of that whatsoever.
Okay. I'm not sure if that's something that she would write down, but we were friendly.
It's not required, for sure. If there was ever anything outside of just business between the two of you, there's no reason for her to report that to the Bureau unless it became romantic.
No, I wasn't exactly trying to imply that. Look, she's important to me because she was the only person that could help me with my affliction, or help me through it, help me try and understand it. You know, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying, but is she okay? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Celia will, she'll put a hand on your arm, and you've been through trauma, and I understand that it's difficult to compartmentalize all of these thoughts. I am sorry if I said anything that did create a little bit of an upset. Ethel's been found, and she has been very badly injured, but also healed. But right now, she is not conscious.
All right. Was it Vincent? Did he do this to her?
That is our working theory.
He's a sadistic son of a bitch, you know.
She kind of says in a low voice, my job here is very... It requires me to understand many secrets. And it's also important that I don't reveal any of these secrets. But from what Ethel has told me, I can piece together patterns that might lead to Vincent being a much more diabolical character than he appeared to be.
I could have told you that. No secret. It's no secret at all what a fucking psychopath he is.
Sometimes it takes those of us outside of a situation to be able to truly see it for what it is. Sometimes we are too close and we don't want to believe the things right in front of our face. And sometimes some people are very good at lying. And those kinds of people make very good illusion wizards.
I'll say.
Prejudice much?
A little bit. Eigner's considering whether or not to ask about Vincent. He'll go for it.
Okay.
He'll say to Celia, "What are you going to do with him?"
She again, with her arm on her hand on your arm, she kind of gently rubs your forearm, and you feel just this warmth spreading from her touch. I'd like you to make a wisdom save.
Oh shit. Don't magic me. Don't magic me.
Good thing you just got a bump.
Oh, nat 20. I'm absolutely serious. Nat 20, dude. First roll.
nice.
First roll of the day.
You begin to feel comforted, but then your guard goes up because you've felt, or at least can recognize, when someone is trying to
Influence your emotions.
butter you up, if you will. Yeah, influence your emotions, put you in a state of ease. And she says, when doing this, Vincent's fate is something that you don't need to worry about. It will be taken care of.
I will jerk my arm away from her touch and just grit my teeth and say, I really don't like it when people do that to me. I really don't like it. Tell me the truth. What are you going to do with him? He deserves whatever punishment you're going to give, whatever you think is appropriate. He deserves 10 times worse.
There are procedures in place for rogue wizards. The directors will meet and discuss the event, and then apply those procedures. You'll be dealt with internally.
Okay. I can't begin to understand how it is that you all do things here, but if I ever run into him again, he's a dead man. So I hope your procedures can
On a
keep him
personal
safe.
level, between you and me, not on any sort of record, not in any of my reports of our discussion. I hope you never have to see Vincent again. But if for any reason he does cross your path because of some bureaucratic loophole, there will be nothing said of this conversation to implicate you in whatever befalls him.
Appreciate that, I guess.
Thank you for your time, Eigner. I am a licensed grief counselor. If you need anything at all, come and talk with me. We can make this a very smooth, easy transition. I understand you've gone through a trauma.
Is there any way a man can get some food around here?
Of course. And she will give you directions to the kitchens.
Okay. I will ask for a little help from someone.
She will take you to the kitchens.
Okay, alright. Nice. Thanks, Celia. You're very, very kind.
Celia Troy.
Hey now.
You're an all-star.
She is just in what is it? Enhancement? Is that the one? What's the charm-based one?
Enchantment.
Enchantment.
That's
She's
with
just an
Halifax.
enchantment-based wizard whose job is to charm people into feeling better about life.
Halifax.
That's wizard therapy.
Dude, Halifax, there's a enchanter babe right here. You're an enchanter man. She's
I
an
know,
enchanter
right?
babe. It'll work great. You guys have so much in common.
I can see enchanters being quite interesting in the dating game as well, because they've got a reaction thing which I'd never make use of, because I keep forgetting about it at the time. But out of combat, I keep remembering it's called instinctive charm, and it's basically whenever someone tries to attack you, if you can see them and they're within 30 feet, you can make them target someone else instead. So imagine that being useful at a bar. If a woman sees a guy approaching and she's just like, nah, swipe,
Whoop.
and all of a sudden, like, diverts his attention to someone else.
Those are the kinds of things I love to look at in spells and class features and go, how would this work in practical life? Because not all the world we live in is about fighting things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you ever have questions about, hey, this is a feature I have, can I use this here? We'll discuss it. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say yes every single time because obviously some of that shit can get way out of hand.
For sure.
But I'm open. I'm open
Word.
to new things, new
Great.
experiences.
Well, there we go. Okay,
This
so
is open to experimentation.
Exactly.
oh yeah. So Eigner is currently stuffing his face with some like really hearty beef stew and dark rye bread, and just like getting all fed up because he's not had a good meal in a long time.
Right. And I think that we've done enough here at the Bureau where we kind of, everyone's gotten the seeds they need to investigate this on their own. On the night of the second day you guys have been there, you are all awoken by Oswald and Celia, and in hushed voices they're telling you, you need to wake up. We have to get going now. Whomever they're currently talking to.
Eigner.
Is everything all right?
The two of us, Oswald said, we believe you to be trustworthy people. We're close friends with Ethel. I'm sure she's mentioned us before.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
and I guess they're waking up Eridu in this moment as well, but
Mhm.
the directors have decided to hold you for questioning for as long as needed. And although they have no true authority for that sort of a thing, without involving themselves in the legal web outside of the Bureau, as long as you're here, they can do that and no one will bat an eye. And I don't think the four of you wish to be detained for an indefinite amount of time.
I will not be a prisoner again. Absolutely not.
It's certainly not something that I was hoping to achieve this afternoon, being incarcerated.
Yes, the idea that you might be in league with Vincent has come up.
Eigner
I don't
just
know
makes
if it's
a
been
groaning noise at that.
I don't know that it's been discussed heavily in the council itself, if the directors are taking it seriously, but some of the others have whispered about it. Here's the biggest issue. We are undergoing a pretty thorough internal investigation, and you can better believe that though you would be questioned here and there, processing you and allowing you to leave would be of the lowest priority in the situation.
Understandable.
I've heard enough. Let's get out of here.
Yes, indeed. Let's get out of your hair. If there is ever anything that we can do for you on the outside, do get in touch.
Of course, Cecilia. Same with us. And she pulls out a piece of parchment and inscribes a rune onto it. And then Oswald inscribes a rune next to it. And they hand that to you. This will be a way of contacting us. All you really need to do is think of a question, think of whatever you need. Even think of us if you just want to speak. Touch the room.
Cool magic shit.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to take that, shove it into my pack as I sling it over my shoulders and get ready to leave.
All right. So about the only thing I'm going to have you guys do as you're leaving is roll me some stealth checks.
Oh, well, in this case, Eigner will try and like stow his armor because he's not like really thinking that they're trying to get into a fight and bust their way out. So he's like trying to stow his armor in a way where he's not wearing it, not getting the disadvantage to the stealth check necessarily.
Also, you were sleeping. You wouldn't take the time.
Oh, also, yeah, I wouldn't take the time to put that on. So he's just trying to take a huge backpack with his stuff and
So,
just.
pew pew, bardic inspiration for the both of you.
Okay.
Oh,
Alright.
sweet.
Is that
Is it a D6?
D8, right?
It is D8
It
currently.
is a D8.
Dude.
I love how that happens.
Woohoo! I got a 22 on my stealth.
Oh my god, Eigner is killing it with the die rolls right now. And I rolled the 8 on the Bardic Inspiration. Holy fuck.
Nice.
So I got 23 total.
16.
Um,
I unfortunately cannot give myself bardic inspiration.
that's fine. As you guys move forward, Oswald is taking up the head, going along paths where he knows there are fewer people. Celia is trailing far behind just to make sure that there's nobody following. And as you guys are making your way through the corridors, Eridu at the very end stumbles into some like a big stack of books that someone has left outside of one of their rooms.
Classic Eridu.
And everyone stops for a moment. And you start to hear sounds of movement in that room. And Eridu says, "You go on, keep going. I'll deal with this." And then Oswald just nods.
Eigner,
Yes, Halifax? Yes, Halifax. There we go.
We should go. Are you looking to get caught?
Someone has knocked over these books, and if we just keep on going, whoever comes looking is going to keep on the trail to find someone. Better they find me, and we play it off as some accident, than for them to find no one and to risk them coming after us.
Best of luck to you, Eridu.
And you.
he's more resourceful than you give him credit for.
He is really not Eridu. Oh no, we're going that route again.
Oh no, don't say that shit. Don't say that shit. Eigner will he will actually lose his mind if that's the case.
Right.
He will actually go insane. I'm gonna roll on the madness table and the DM button and everything, dude.
Is this when everyone takes off their masks and they're all someone else, and then they
Oh,
wait for
God.
a few seconds and go, "Oh shit, you can't see us anymore."
Exactly.
And then they had to take off that mask. And there's someone else.
Yeah.
And then Agner just tries to take off his own mask, but
And it rips his skin off.
right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what that's from, where like everyone's taking off their masks, and the guy's like, "Wait, what about me? Don't I? Don't? Nope, that's
Nope.
real."
No.
I
Alright.
was secretly a skeleton the whole time.
Oh, yep. That's me.
I keep moving my fucking camera. Sorry.
So
Okay.
it's okay. So we abandon Eridu, unfortunately, but we got to do what we
Okay.
got to do.
Had to get him out of there somehow, and he rolled a 2 on a stealth check, so
Easy enough.
which is really like an 8, but it's Eridu. I like how it's
It's
classic
Eridu.
Eridu, but like, what's
But he-
classic about it is when Eridu tries to do something cool and he like botched the roll, as opposed to like Eridu being inept at things.
Yeah, no, I should have said classic Asa because that's Asa
Yeah.
just rolling like shit.
It's Asa being like, "Oh, Eridu's gonna do this cool dexterity thing." Nope,
Nope.
I rolled a 4 or a 1 when I tried to parkour down a mountain.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
We're going.
following Oswald, there's he takes you away from the rooms and out towards the towards the area of the kitchens, unload their food in, and gets you out of the away from the bureau far enough. You guys don't see Celia again, and before you leave, he says, "Truly, thank you for rescuing our friend and providing us with the information we needed to uncover this treachery."
You're welcome, Oswald. I can only hope that you all do the right thing.
Well, we shall see. Don't worry about that hunk of metal. I've got it locked away, very, very safe. He's talking to Halifax.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, us escaping, I'd entirely forgotten that I wanted to keep an eye on that. I'm just assuming that over the course of the last 24, 48 hours, there's been no movement. There's been nothing weird with it.
No, not at all.
Thank you. I am curious and trepidatious about the true nature of our foe.
Well, I do know that hunk of metal, it seeps some kind of dangerous energies. I'm gonna find a very safe place to store it.
You're talking about Zarkon?
Yes.
Eigner is just trying to piece this all together because I'm trying to remember that he never saw that he never saw Zarkon as Warforged. Well, but in his
and Oswald wouldn't know.
But
so.
But in the illusion he did.
That's true.
Yeah. So he's like, you're talking about Zarkon. Don't trust him. If he starts talking to you, don't trust anything he says.
I will bear that in mind. Thank you. Now, you should go, and I should get back before anyone notices that anyone else is gone. Maybe we can help your friend get out. We'll see.
Eigner, so you said they went through the kitchens, right?
Right.
Eigner is going to follow his nose because he's got a very good sense of smell, and he's going to just totally pilfer some shit from the kitchen along the way, and just he's got an extra burlap sack, and he's taken some potatoes, some carrots, some little nice hunks of bread, a little bit of garlic too. You got to have some garlic, and some apples, just like a random little assortment of trail rations for all the boys. And
Nice.
gal.
Yeah, I think if we're passing the kitchen and I see Eigner doing this, I'll join in.
We don't know how long we're going to need to be on the road, so...
When you see your blind friend stealing from mages, do you tell them to stop, or do you join?
Eigner doesn't give a shit right now. Are you kidding me, dude? He doesn't give a shit.
Eigner's like, oh, this looks like a carrot.
No, he's following his nose, dude. He's got a heightened sense of smell, dog.
That's actually...
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take a few minutes. So I guess we could hypothetically do an early break if that would be acceptable, because I need to deal with some stuff with my kids.
Uh-huh. I think that's cool.
Yeah, we're sort of transitioning from one area to another and stuff, so yeah.
For sure.
All right.
It's a natural point.
In the episodes on YouTube, this is going to definitely be split up into some very off-timed episodes, but that's okay.
It's not that bad. It's not that big of a change.
All right. We'll be back in a little bit. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. There's more on the way.